Good day and welcome back to the class. I'm sure we are all familiar with this drawing now. In our previous class, we generate this assembled drawing, which shows us part 1. You can see it as highlighted, part 2 highlighted, part 3 as highlighted, and also the part 4. This was assembled together. Now, presently, what we want to do now is to produce some other essential drawings that will be required uh, for functionability. Precisely, I mean, for us to be able to produce this part and assemble them, the other drawings that will be required. Number one, I'm going to generate the isometric view of this 3D model, which is actually going to be look more like this, but it's going to be the isometric view. Also, we'll be generating the orthographic view, or as we'll call it, the orthographic projection, the multi-view projections. And also, we'll be showing you how to dimension uh, on this orthographic projection. And also, I'll be generating the sectional views after we are done with the section. So, four things majorly we're going to be doing: isometric view, the orthographic view, the dimensioning, and also the sectioning. Now, let's get to it now. Let's start with the isometric view. Now, to generate the isometric view, we go to the drawing mode. So we go to the file, you click on new, and then we come to ISO IDW, scroll down a bit. So here is it, and then you create. So that brings us to the drawing mode. So we now place our object by clicking on base. So that gives us an object here. So we can get any of the isometric views, either this, you see, if you can place the view on this side, you see that it gives us the isometric view. If you come here, it's going to give you something different. Likewise, if you look at this, something different, and here another different view. Okay, I'm going to click OK before we continue. Now let's go back to our 3D model. Excuse me, please. Now looking at our 3D model and see the direction of the view. So let's go to the drawing now. You can see that none of these view actually face the direction of the view. So that means we need to change the orientation of the view. So I'm going to delete this. I don't need this. I should delete this. So I only need one of the view. So I'm going to delete this likewise. I'm going to delete this. Okay, so let me delete this likewise. So we are left with this. So I can reposition this and then change the view by double click on this object, and then you can change the view. You can see I position my cursor at the top corner of the cube on the right face. So I have this. So this is exactly what we have on this other assembly. So let me change the scale before I go back to the 3D model. So I'm changing the scale to 2 to 1. So that's it. Now here is the 3D model. Here is the assembled, here is the symmetric view. We can see that this is actually the same thing with what we have on the 3D model. Now, what I want to do now is to insert text. What's the name of this my drawing? So this is, I'm going to go to annotate. So I'm going to click on text, and I'm going to insert my name here. This isometric view. So let me just write isometric view. Okay. Then I'm going to put my scale here. I'm going to write my scale. I've used ratio 2 to 1. So that will be my scale. Okay, I can exit this and position this. Okay. Now, any other thing that you might need to fill, you can see them. You can see space where you can put some of those things. So this is how basically we produce the isometric view on the femto assembly drawing. Thank you for listening. I want you to practice this on your own and produce the same isometric view. Thank you for listening.